what's cool about those shows is that they're very marketable in that way, is that when you buy the season, you're it's not going to just sit on this shelf and collect dust. You're going to want to dive into these seasons, you know what I mean, more than once.
No, yeah, definitely. And I think they all start like a conversation too, so that's always exciting, that you can talk to your friends and argue about what the meaning of, you know, this scene was and what this conversation meant. And I think that's exciting. And like you said, they don't just sit in your shelf. I think people are watching these episodes multiple times, and I find myself watching Game of Thrones. I've probably seen every season twice, and the last 2 episodes that have come out I've seen twice already. So you know, it's just something that you catch something new every time you see the episode, which is always so exciting too. Like, I didn't notice that last time I watched it. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
just blew my mind away. So that's very exciting. So I think a lot of people were pleased that they got a trailer for Westworld season 2. Other notable trailers were the Preacher season 2 trailer, Game of Thrones, like some weeks ahead, since the season had already started when Comic-Con, last week it was released, and so we kind of got a glimpse of what the season's going to look like. And also another one that I know a lot of my friends are excited about is American Horror Story Cult.
With Lena Dunham. Right now?
Yeah, that's what I had heard, but the previews obviously don't give away, like, they're more creepy, and like you don't really see like too much.
Yeah, they always
they're always like that, which is great. And I don't watch American Horror Story, but I know that a lot of people really do love that show and follow it, and people have their favorite seasons, of course, but like, since they're all so different, they really can have like a favorite like season. It's not like, oh, like that season was good. It's more like that's like storyline was good. So that's exciting, and I know a lot of people enjoyed that. So
is it true, and I'm not sure if you know this or not, but is it true that Gaga is stepping off, which means that they're that would lead you to believe that Lena is kind of taking her spot, which is crazy.
I'm not sure about that, and that might have been something that was revealed at Comic-Con. I just wouldn't know. But I don't think they're kind of, you can't really compare both. Like,
did AHS have a panel?
I don't think they did.
No, I didn't hear much.
I think it was just dropped during Comic-Con, but I don't. Yeah, I didn't.
They're probably busy shooting or something. Or is it done?
I would imagine. No,
post?
it's probably being,
or like edited or
something, because the trailer was dropped, but yeah, like I said, I don't think there was a panel. I didn't see anything in any of the of the schedules, and I watch all the videos afterwards for all the panels, and I didn't see anything about it, but I might be mistaken, so we might hear otherwise after this
maybe
recording. So but yeah, one of my kind of wanted to end the news with like a couple of my favorite things about Comic-Con. So what I really go there for is kind of like to immerse myself in all this like pop culture, but also kind of get an idea of like what I want to read for the next year or so. So that's very exciting, and kind of taking note of the things that are coming out and the things that I need to catch up on. So I think that's very exciting. And I wanted to know what your favorite part about Comic-Con is.
I would say the same as tiring as that environment is. I've grown to love it. I've been going since probably 2005, before it was cool by any means.
Yeah, same.
And I've always loved it. It always makes me sad when it ends, because when we're in there, time goes like so quick, like way too quick, in my opinion. And I just love going around and the merch. I love the merch. You know, I never have enough money to buy everything that I want, of course. But the cool thing is, like, in the way that you say you look for things to read in the future. I'm doing that too, but I love to look, like, I love to look at like the new vendors or maybe like new artists that are popping up. Like the artist alley is really cool. There's just so many. It's become this kind of epic entity, I guess, in pop culture, and it's just amazing that it's in San Diego or whatever, and we get to just like, it's kind of at in our backyard.
It really is. I'm 4 miles away from the convention center. Like, that's amazing. So that's very exciting, and I agree. It is very overwhelming at times to be in rooms that are so jam-packed with people, but that's so worth it when you're getting to get your hands on some really cool stuff and seeing what's being put out, and then really being around people who are sharing the same interests, which is really hard. Like you said, like 2005, it wasn't cool. I thought it was very cool. Like, I started going when I was in high school. I've gone every year since, and I mean, that is the one time that I feel like you can have conversations with random people, and they'll be on the same wavelength. So that's really nice. And I feel like, I always hear about some shady stuff that goes on when there's tons of people in a room or, like, in a location, or...
groping and stuff like that?
Yeah, but, like, not just that, like, stealing or, like, people being rude or fighting, and that's definitely not this environment. Like, I've never been disrespected and at any of these events, and I always find it so much fun, and it's just so engaging too. So
yeah, the only thing that I could complain about is some people really need to learn to take a shower or something. I don't know, maybe I'm being a hater.
You're getting too close to these people, Wesley.
Yeah, but sometimes, man, whoa.
It's also hard because you want to be in your cosplay, or you want to grab all the stuff that you're there for, but it's so hot in there, even if the AC is, like, at max. Like, and people, that's just the nature of things, that people are going to smell, like...
Yeah, but I've smelled, like, this is not Comic-Con smell. This is you haven't showered for a month smell.
So I don't know who you're hanging out with, or what lines you're standing for, or who you're mingling with at these events, but I haven't experienced anything too horrible. Not yet. Hopefully I don't jinx myself for next year.
I kind of teeter-tottered around your question, but going back, now that I've got to think about it while you were talking, putting in your filler, what I love about Comic-Con, and maybe this is small in comparison to what it's really about, is the what I've grown to love, because I'm a collector. I collect things or whatever. The exclusives are always, I feel like each year, at least the ones that I'm looking at, they get cooler and cooler, and they're not things that are, like, known by the masses and stuff. Like, for example, I got the Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey exclusive, the Grim Reaper Death or whatever, which I thought was so badass, and I would have never thought that they would have even thought to create that. So that was really cool.
Yeah, no, that is a very exciting element of Comic-Con, to see people get their hands on these, like, very exclusive things, and
you never know what you're going to get, and some of them are like really not hard to get a hold of. Some of them are, like the Power Ranger stuff, and you gotta, like, go and stand in the line forever, but most of them are pretty easy to get.
Definitely. Yeah, great. So that's pretty much wrapping up my piece of the news.
Which is awesome. Is what I wanted this to be a post Comic-Con episode.
Yay! Yes. Great. I'm glad I served that purpose a little bit.
Nice. Jumping into my news, it's a little bit more darker, but we'll do that, and then we'll do James's news.
I know.
Which will probably kill our news.
Oh, he always kills it on the news. Like,
yeah, that is his shtick for sure.
That's all him.
Okay, so Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, has now teamed up with Blumhouse. We've talked about how he's being very weird with his script. He's writing the script for Spawn, trying to partner up with somebody. So he's partnered with Blumhouse, supposedly, and he actually revealed, I believe, at Comic-Con that Al Simmons, aka Spawn, who's supposed to be the main character, will not be the main character and will not be speaking through this entire film or script. Which is incredible. And he's I don't know where he's taking this, but he put it, he compared Spawn to Jaws. He said, think about what Jaws and Bruce the shark is to that movie. He is the main character, but he doesn't really have to talk. So
he's just going to terrify people from going into the ocean ever. Somehow, but this is going to be like terrify people into not going outside of their house ever.
So, so that's a big piece of news. And then he also, another like whammy, if you will, he said that Twitch, who is a notorious kind of detective in the Spawn universe, is going to be pretty much, the story is centered around him. Mm-hmm. And he said that he wrote that character and all his dialogue for Leo.
Oh.
So
I feel like that's the second time I've heard someone say that, something similar, like, I wrote this piece to be played by Leo. Like,
Inception.
Yeah, I mean, and that's great, and I love him, of course, he's great, but I just feel like, what's gonna happen when, and I hope this never happens, when Leo's gone? Like, who are we gonna say that about?
Oh, yeah, that's a terrible thought.
Yeah, that's a horrible thought, and I'm sorry I put that out there, universe.
But yeah, so he said he wrote that role, the role of Twitch, for Leonardo DiCaprio, and that the reason why he thinks that he can do it, or he'd be perfect for it, is his performance in The Wolf of Wall Street. Mm-hmm. He said that he has this kind of manicness about him that would just work for the movie. So I guess I think that'd be interesting if he can get him to do it.
You don't think he would be interested in something like that?
It's hard to say. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really it feels like he might pass. Because, I mean, what has he done that's really, like, superhero-ish or even
nothing that I can think of, but
which might be a great gateway into that if he is willing to.
The only thing that makes me think that he would do it is that he kind of, like, he puts himself in situations that he just, like, goes for it, you know?
Yeah,
like
he is definitely.
Django, when he gets hurt.
He's a risk taker for sure. Yeah.
And then in Wolf of Wall Street, when he filmed that scene where he's on, like, drugs, he hurt himself as well. I think he hurt his back.
Yeah, threw himself down.
Yeah, and so, and then in Django, he cut his hand or something. So,
yeah, in that scene, it's real.
I think he can really, if he wanted to, he can really make good stuff out of that. But like you said, does it fit in his?
It just seems a little out. It seems like a little out of character, mm-hmm. but it is Leo, and he can surprise us
I agree.
Any which way, really. Moving on. A kind of lower key drop for Comic-Con was My Friend Dahmer. I don't know if you've heard about it.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, and it looks eerie and fucking weird, and like it's gonna be sad and make you feel for him, which is, I feel like this is gonna bring about a series of kind of controversy.
Of course.
Because he's a notorious serial killer. I think he murdered like 17 people before he was caught.
They were all men, right?
And kids.
Oh, okay. I didn't know kids. I thought it was just all like young males, like. But I might be wrong. Yeah.
I could be wrong too.
I mean, he killed people, yes. So he's pretty horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't
already.
matter. Yeah, 17 people. Yeah. So it was, so that was announced, and it basically is centered around Dahmer's life in high school and how he was mistreated and kind